Hey everyone, this is Jeff Kaplan, Game Director for Overwatch. We're here in Cologne, Germany for GamesCom 2015. Overwatch is playable for the first time here in Europe and the response has been amazing so far. We're going to show you some really new, great features and content. We've got Lucio, our new hero, as well as 2 new maps, Nimbani and Volskaya Industries. Stay tuned for some great gameplay.
And now he is here, Jeff Kaplan, as well as Michael Chu and Matthew Hawley. You guys are working on the Overwatch development team, and you came here for Gamescom to our live stream from the USA. So thanks a lot for joining us and taking the time. How has your Gamescom been so far, Jeff?
It's been amazing. Cologne, Germany is fantastic, and being at the world's largest gaming convention, you couldn't ask for more.
Yeah, it's been so exciting to see how Overwatch has been received by the fans and to see the development of not just your own game, but to see the community already building around it, Michael. What's that like, considering that you guys have already just begun the process of being able to unveil the details out to the community?
It's crazy. I mean, you know, it's so inspiring and it's so much fun to have the game out here and see people reacting live to it. A lot of people are getting to play it for the first time. We just saw the Overwatch theme song played on a concert, and that was totally amazing.
Yeah, you guys must be overwhelmed with the feedback you're receiving here at Gamescom. But yeah, you had some great announcements here. We saw a new hero, Lucio, being announced from you guys on Wednesday, and now he's already playable in the area. Maybe talk a little bit about what kind of character and hero Lucio is in terms of ability and where he fits into the gameplay, Jeff.
Well, gameplay-wise, he's fantastic for us because we have a lot of support characters already. We've got Mercy and Zenyatta, but now we have a really highly mobile support character in Lucio.
What's the dynamic like over in the development team when you guys are adding these new heroes? Like, how is it actually forming in terms of the beginning process all the way into the creation?
Yeah, so it really depends on the hero. Sometimes heroes start from a cool gameplay mechanic. Like, for example, Tracer, we knew that we wanted a hero that could blink 3 times across the map and then rewind back in time, and also had a pulse bomb. And that kit just really fit a hero that we wanted to build. And then our lead concept artist, Arnold Sang, and the rest of the art team come up with lots of different potential character art for the hero that ultimately ended up landing on Tracer. Some heroes start from the design side, like Tracer. Some heroes actually start from a really inspiring piece of concept art, like Zenyatta, for example. We just said, wow, that Omnic is so cool. We have to come up with a kit for him.
He's definitely one of the most unique characters you have in the game. And of course, Michael, as a senior game designer, you're driving a lot of the creative part of it as well. So what gives you the inspiration to create such characters like Lucio, and how does he fit in the entire cast, considering the backgrounds of each character?
Well, I'm really lucky. You know, I work with some supremely talented artists, and sometimes, you know, I look at the character designs we come up with, I see the abilities they have, and I'm just like, coming up with stories for that is easy. As far as Lucio goes, I mean, as easy as it gets. But as far as Lucio goes, you know, I feel like he's really emblematic of this world we're trying to build with Overwatch. He's bright, he's optimistic, he's energetic. When you look at him, he's just skating around. You know, he's loving life, and he is the epitome of the kind of character who's responding to Tracer's call. You know, the world could always use more heroes, and I think that's Lucio.
I really love the job you've been doing with the backstories in general of those heroes. It's just so nice how it all comes together, and also how you announced it. For the people who haven't seen it, head over to the Overwatch website and check it out, because when Lucio has been announced, it hasn't been announced as like, hey, here is our new hero. It was just like, hey, here is this DJ dude, and he's, you know, he's coming from there and there, and he's doing this and this, and check out his soundtrack. It's really great. Like, he's doing some music, and he's touring the world. So everyone instantly started guessing, like, oh my God, is that like a Bard class announced? Like, what is going on? That's so interesting. So that was just really amazing to like follow that process. Now, a new hero is not the only thing you've been announcing here. We also saw 2 new maps already playable at the show floor. So let's maybe talk a little bit about Volskaya as well as Numbani. Maybe you want to start with that one, Jeff.
Yeah, sure thing. Volskaya is fun for a lot of reasons. It's got a great backstory. I'm sure Michael will talk a little bit about that. But in terms of game mechanics, it's an attack-defend map similar to Temple of Anubis, which we already have in the game, and Hanamura. But what's really cool about Volskaya is we're trying new stuff with alternate flanking routes that certain mobility characters can get to. For example, Lucio can wall grind and get past the first choke point, which is pretty amazing. Farah can fly around the second control point and get there right away. And we've placed a bunch of moving platforms in the map for the first time. And that's opened up whole new territory for characters like Bastion and Torbjorn, who before were stuck being static characters.
Right.
Now they've got these moving platforms that they can, you know, sort of get into all sorts of trouble with.
When you're creating these types of maps, how does it actually relate to the entire objective? Because again, we do have different things for Volskaya versus Numbani. So Matthew, what's the process of how you guys determine like what were we going to make the primary objective for this game? How are we going to have the team dynamic turns into fighting as well as fighting for the ultimate goal?
Yeah, sure. So I think if you look at something like Numbani, one of the inspirations that we had for Numbani, which is the second map we brought, Numbani is a hybrid attack defend, so you capture a control point and then you escort a payload through the streets of Numbani to the Numbani Heritage Museum. The really cool thing is we decided that we got a really lot of positive feedback from the Overwatch opening cinematic that we announced at BlizzCon last year, and kind of the key piece of that cinematic was an item called Doomfist Gauntlet. And we said, wow, it'd be really cool if we did something with Doomfist Gauntlet in the game. And so the payload objective in Numbani is actually to escort Doomfist Gauntlet back to its rightful resting place inside of the Numbani Heritage Museum.
Yeah,
maybe Mike, you want to share some more light on the backstories of those maps?
Yeah, sure. It's actually really interesting. I've seen some speculation already about Doomfist and his gauntlet. But I'm going to go on a little digression here, actually. You know, our universe is sort of defined by this event called the Omnic Crisis, where, you know, robot populations around the world had this huge global conflict with humanity. And in the maps that we've shown already, you see a lot of this conflict playing out. You know, there are still wounds from that time. In King's Row, the Omnics and humans don't quite get along. But one of the things we're really excited about in Numbani is to show the place where they do get along. Humans and robots here live in peace. You know, they're united as one people. They have equal rights. And because of that, they've been able to build this amazing first world city. And I just think it's this awesome, you know, vision of future Africa.
Yeah, it's awesome to see that you guys are continuing to build this world out too. You know, I saw the initial map pool. My favorite was King's Row, and now you guys have Numbani and Volskaya included in. And it's just cool to see that all of a sudden there's all kinds of opportunity situations that you're going to have to play Overwatch, but again, respecting the world. And we got an opportunity to actually play with the devs, or at least you guys did. I didn't get to join in, so how was that experience for you?
Oh, very unique. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I was a little scared. I prepared as best as one can, right? I memorized every single ability in the game. And the backstories, just in case I might need it during it.
Full of details.
Just a little prepared.
It's just I came a little prepared, played dumb. Hopefully you guys go easy on me if I do that. Didn't work. But
they didn't go easy.
No, they didn't go easy. But you actually have been coaching me, and I'm not gonna lie, it was an intense match. I don't know how did it feel for you guys?
It was definitely an intense match.
Yeah.
We had some of our better QA players on the floor, and they were kicking our butts.
Yeah, it wasn't easy, and it was definitely an interesting match, and we of course recorded that, and that's why we're gonna take a quick look at what went down on the show floor right there.
Your defenses.
We're going to be on defense first, so Widowmaker is like a really good choice for that.
I obviously knew that, right?
Yes, you picked perfect.
So how are my chances of doing pretty okay in this game now, considering that I've played the game maybe for half an hour a few weeks ago?
You're going to do great. I'm looking at our team. We've got some really good guys. They have a lot of experience, so you'll be in good hands.
Let's do this.
All right. So I have a choice. I can heal or damage boost you.
Damage boost engaged.
So I'm gonna follow you. I'm gonna put my damage boost on you.
Sweet. I can't actually damage my teammates, is that correct?
That's correct. We don't have
Very
any
good.
friendly fire.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize how important the team composition is for success or victory. Oh no! One of the great parts about Overwatch is that you can switch heroes at any time. You're not locked in. So if we see that they have something that we need to counter, we're gonna swap right away. There we go. We got it.
Victory.
Good job, guys.
For someone who's like completely new to the game, how long do you reckon it takes to understand how a hero works?
I think you can gain a hero's abilities in the first match that you play. Something to recognize about a hero is that not all of their abilities or guns are as important as others. So in examples like Pharah, as long as you get her rocket launcher down and get her jump jets going, that's all you really need to know for your first few matches. And she has like an ability called Concussive Blast, which is more of a high skill thing that you can get to later. So you don't need to get to everything right away with every hero.
Let me see if I can be sneaky up here. Nope, I got shot in the face.
Is that tumbleweed?
It is. When he does his Deadeye ability, we actually roll a tumbleweed across the screen.
Yeah, the tumbleweed's what I'm feeling right now because I'm so lonely watching you guys play. But thankfully, the devs allowed me to play with them earlier today, and I also had some fun. That looked really entertaining.
It was. It really was. I mean, I stuck to one hero at the beginning. You actually made me. No, you didn't make me play Widowmaker. You asked me what kind of playstyle I prefer, so we ended up going for Widowmaker, and the whole rest of the team just adjusted to my noobness, which I'm very grateful for. So we actually managed to win a few games. And yeah, no, that was very entertaining. And I have to say, I mean, I did ask you, like, how long does it take to learn a hero? And I can confirm now, it's literally just like one game. You need to understand your own abilities, and like it's easy to learn, hard to master. It's one of those classic games. So I really enjoyed it. How is it for you guys watching newbies play this game and see like how well they're doing? I mean, you have had the opportunity on the show floor to actually stand behind newcomers, because in Europe, you know, that's the first time they can get their hands on the game, and it's the first time they can actually play it. What kind of goes through your heads if you watch them playing and failing or doing great? Maybe let's start with you, Michael.
Yeah, I think it's great. You know, we only get a few chances to see people really starting out in the game for the first time, so I think it's fascinating to see, you know, what characters people gravitate to, what sort of things they do when they first show up on the match, or, you know, what characters they're interested in. So I know when I've had a chance, I've been sneaking over to the booth and trying to take a look.
Matthew, have you been seeing anybody or any groups of people gravitating towards specific characters? I know people generally in shooters like to be aggressive, right? Like they want to be getting the kills and all the flashy stuff. What are some of the characters you think that people are naturally attracted to after observing for a few days?
You know, it's been really fascinating watching the show floor, and you know, one of the things that we're really working on for Overwatch is to make it to as accessible as possible to as many people as possible. And I wish that I could say that there's one or two specific heroes that people are gravitating toward. But what's really interesting is there are so many different play styles represented in the 16 heroes that we have at GamesCom that you kind of find people are gravitating towards more of a, you know, something that just sings to them emotionally. Like,
wow.
I really want to feel like the battle medic as Mercy, or, you know, man, flying around the map as Pharah would be a lot of fun. And, you know, you see a lot more of folks gravitating towards things that inspire them, not necessarily, which is not necessarily the same for every person.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, that's actually something I really appreciate about this game, because you have so many backstories, and like you play a character, you play like a person, right? You can identify yourself with them. It's not just like, well, I'm playing this class because it works. It's literally just like, well, she looks super cool, or like he seems like a super cool bro. Like that's what I want. That's the type I want to go for. So I really like how that actually plays into the choices people make.
I like cowboys, so I'm gonna go ahead and play McCree. That's kind of how it is. It's a really cool diversity style too. And I'm really excited to see what it's going to be coming out for. And I know the people who are here are also really excited. We had an opportunity to just talk to them about what they thought about the game. And Zoe did a great job, so here it is.
Well-known face here amongst the crowd. Musak just played some Overwatch, and needless to say, I don't think the enemy team enjoyed that game very much. You ended with a 50 kill streak, not 15. How do you enjoy Overwatch?
Ton of fun, especially when you got Jeff Kaplan medicing you. It makes it quite easy. He knows what he's doing. He makes me look good, but yeah, it's a just unbelievably fun game. I'm really looking forward to it.
You just played Overwatch. How did you like it?
It's amazing. I never saw something like this good.
Which was your favorite to play so far?
Reaper, I like best.
Okay, you're one of those shadow stepping, coming up behind. All right, one of those guys.
Just pure fast action. So we played just around 7 minutes, and it was a lot of fun. No? Very, very cool.
I think the way that all the heroes kind of synergize together and how all their abilities can work, like you can combine Zarya's ulti to kind of black hole everyone together and then drop a Hanzo Dragon on top and just wipe the enemy team. And that kind of, when you pull off one of those great team combinations, it's just a really, really good feeling. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I assume you're going to play Overwatch when it's coming out?
Yeah. Full stop.
Love that clip at the end of the Winston, just like he's like moving around trying to bash everything. Kind of resembles my experience with Winston as well. I need to control myself a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's something you actually told me, that Winston is your go-to character when it's rage mode, like Tracer rage phase mode. Is that?
Some people rage Tracer, I rage Winston.
All right.
Gotcha. Well, projection there, no problem.
You know, with the primal roar, that's kind of what you have to do, right? Now, of course, a lot of people are excited of playing that game. Is there anything you can tell us in regards to that? Like, when will it actually be playable?
Well, I was going to give the super boring answer of what we announced the beta is coming in the fall, but I was reading our subreddit, and I saw that the date had already leaked.
Oh my, Reddit, where Reddit knows best, right?
And they came up with it. I don't know how they got their hands on it.
The internet's never wrong, Jeff, let me tell you.
It is fall 10th. Fall 10th is when everybody will be playing the beta, apparently.
Apparently. So. Oh, well, okay. Then now we finally have a date to stick to. That's great.
Everybody's going to hate me for saying that right now.
That's right. And they'll hold you to that, too. They're like, today is fall 10th and it's not out. Jeff Kaplan, where are you? So you doomed yourself. Remember that.
It's Harvest Moon time.
Save the date, indeed. Well, thank you so much for being able to walk through the new content. But let's go ahead and take a step back and talk about what we mentioned earlier, the diversity in the characters. And I remember that you guys were always emphasizing that you love these characters that are larger than life. It's still a little bit abstract term, though, and especially for people who are watching all over the world. Can you explain more about what that means? And Michael, I'll turn to you because you're mainly leading on these character designs. What does that mean, larger than life characters?
Well, I think really what we're going for is we want these characters just be popping off the screen. You look at Tracer or something, and she's bright and bold, and she's got that great attitude, and she's always, just warping in and out of everything. You've got Winston, who's this, intelligent gorilla from the moon. We just want these characters to feel they've got their own thing. They occupy their own sort of corners of the world, and they're just overpowered and insane.
That's awesome. Do you have a favorite character of your own? Because we already know the Rage Winston from Matthew.
Actually, I don't really have a favorite, but since I've been in Germany, I've been playing a lot of Reinhardt because I think I've just been inspired by it. I love there's a video. So I think that shows a good example of why you don't want to let Reinhardt get too close to you, especially that Mercy there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's really cool too because you do want the Overwatch to be able to be approachable on all kinds of level, and I know some people, they usually kind of get adjusted to the quick twitch reflexive motions, but Reinhardt fulfills a very important role, not only for the team function, but also being able to be an entry point for people to still come in, bash. I'm not the greatest FPS player, but I'm still really effective.
Yeah, but he works so well in a team. I mean, with his shield, where other people can also stand behind, not taking damage, and yeah, I mean, he's a tanky hero, right?
The shield,
shoot right through that.
Yeah.
And I've seen you playing a lot of Hanzo. It's also a character which really gives a lot to the team, mostly with that ultimate of his.
Yeah, well, Hanzo is fantastic. Obviously, the ultimate, the Spirit Dragon, is just amazing. It goes through every single wall in the level. It will travel infinitely, and it does tremendous damage to anybody that it hits. It also combos extremely well. So let's say Zarya used her Graviton Surge somewhere and got a bunch of the enemy team in a big ball in front of you. You send those dragons in, and it's just absolutely devastating.
Yeah, and I mean, if you pair it up also when using your Sonic Arrow just shortly beforehand, right? So you can actually see, like, all right, behind that wall there are some people, so let's shoot the ult for that one. So yeah, I think I saw. No, it was you I saw. Okay, so I saw you playing Tracer and Widowmaker quite a bit as well. So maybe talk a bit about those.
Yeah, I'm not normally a great Twitch player, so I've been trying to level up my Widowmaker game. And you know, I had a great game. That fortunately, just before I came to Europe, the Leeds play test we did, I ended up having the best Widowmaker game of my life. And I just love her infrasight ability. You can see Tracer here just totally took advantage of the fact that she could see the enemy team through walls, dropped a pulse bomb right on them, and took out, you know, all of the enemy team at once. The crazy combinatorics is just, it's so much fun.
It sounds ridiculous sometimes. You're like, well, I'm going to be able to see wherever the opponent's team is for the duration of the game here until the ultimate goes away. And that sounds like you push the limits, right, in terms of what you can do. How do you guys make sure you're not just breaking the game when you introduce these characters with ridiculous abilities? Let's go ahead, Michael.
Well, I mean, I think sort of part of the goal is to make it feel like it is broken. You know, we push it as far as we can. You know, you take a character like Soldier 76, and his ultimate ability is, you know, with the tactical visor, is literally lock on.
I mean, what we're seeing right on screen is Bastion. You actually changed his ultimate quite a bit. We just saw, yeah, that's it is.
Yeah,
remote mine.
Why did you remove that? Remote mine, and the remote mine was interesting because we came out of BlizzCon with it, and a lot of people actually gave us good, positive feedback on it. And most of those people were Bastion players who...
or the people in the team of Bastion.
Yeah,
he's great.
They send out the little remote mine. It burrowed in the ground, and then there was absolutely no counter for it, and you couldn't see it. When the enemy team would step on it, it would absolutely murder them. So obviously the Bastion players really liked it. We didn't like it for a number of reasons. First and foremost, it actually just didn't feel like a part of Bastion. His trademark move is transforming into different things. So we wanted to come up with an ultimate that seemed more fitting to Bastion. So we went with Siege Mode Tank that he could get into, do devastating damage, and also give him some much needed mobility that he doesn't normally have.
Yeah, I really like the configuration tank. It really gives it like the kind of transforming feel of a Bastion. Yeah. So yeah, no, I really like that. I really like that so much things are changing up. Now, I assume that's not the only hero stuff like that has happened with. Did all of them go through changes, or is there actually a hero which has been staying the same ever since you designed him?
I think every hero has gone through some change at this point, and that's a natural part of the process. So being at BlizzCon, PAX East, now GamesCom, and with beta just on the horizon, we're using all of these moments as opportunities to really see a wide audience touch the game, play with the heroes, and then see what's up. So for example, people have already noticed we made some slight tweaks to Tracer. They're not major. Everybody doesn't need to freak out. But basically, she is less dangerous at long range. Before, she was pretty devastating. You could sit back, 30, 40 meters and really kill people with those pulse pistols. And we wanted players to play more into the spirit of the character, which was really get in there, use those blinks, do some damage, and recall out. So we brought her effective damage range in a little bit, and players are noticing that. So we'll be seeing changes like that happen throughout the development process.
That's right. And you have to wait until fall 10th in order to experience it. That's right. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. We're pretty much almost out of time, but before we go, we also have some fan questions that they want to ask you. So our first question, well, let's take a look at it.
Hello, my name is Leon Lippert. My question is, what is a good way to play Torbjorn?
All right. I actually want Matthew to answer that question because I think I've saw you playing Torbjorn quite a bit.
Yeah, so good old Torbjorn. He's my buddy. Although there's some people that prefer Zenyatta over him, but Torbjorn's my buddy.
All
and
right.
the important thing to remember about Torbjorn is that you make sure that you're taking care of your turret. Your turret is just an extension of you as a hero. And so make sure that you're leveling it up. Make sure you're defending it. If you can, get a Reinhardt to protect it for you with his big shield. Or, you know, if you're really sneaky, you can plant it behind a Bastion while he's already got his shield down. And then, you know, just a tip for his ultimate ability, when you pop Molten Core, you know, make sure that you're hammering away your turret to get a level up, but use that E. Give your teammates armor every time the cooldown is up, because he has unlimited scrap during that Molten Core, and it's a really, really team-friendly ability to spam out those little iron armor packs.
I actually want to quickly ask something about the turrets, because we talked about the Volskaya map, Volskaya Industries, and there are moving platforms. Obviously, a Torbjorn player will want the mobility for his turrets there. How hard is it to maintain them in good health as a Torbjorn on such a map?
Well, one of the things that you can do is if you get up on those platforms and you do manage to get a level 3 turret up there, your team is actually going to try and protect it as well because it flanks right over the point. That said, there are little cubbies that you can sneak in and out of to kind of hit it with your hammer, forge hammer every once in a while to keep that thing alive.
All right. Well, let's take a look at the second question the audience asked you.
Hello, my name is Sebastian Rohrbach. My question is, how can I play Tracer to be really good?
He wants to be a pro, so let's help him. Shall we, Jeff?
Yeah, of course. Tracer is a skirmisher. We call her a harass hero. So what you want to do is get in behind enemy lines. You never want to get caught up at a choke point. There's no reason for you to be there. You can use those blinks to get through almost instantly. You can blink 30 meters across the map. Now, if there are some objectives up, it's your job to take them out. Those include things like Symmetra's teleporter, Torbjorn's turret, Bastion, or even just turning Reinhardt around. You might not kill him instantly, but it's so powerful if you have a Reinhardt with that shield up and you're harassing in behind the Reinhardt, you get him to turn around and now your whole team has a great angle on him. So Tracer is really important to play as a team character, and remember, you should always be behind enemy lines with her.
All right, well,
that sounds like some good coaching. I mean, you've done an amazing job coaching me, so I expect this guy to be pro in just no time whatsoever.
He tore up the game that he played Tracer with me, so I'm going to trust his opinion.
He did. Now, we have one more question for you guys.
Hello, my name is Felix Aldag. And Blizzard, will you try to make this game more action-oriented or more strategy-oriented?
Ooh, that's a fantastic question. Why don't we go to the senior game designer to see if he will make it more strategic or if he's going to make it more action-centric?
I mean, I think those both sound pretty good to me. You know,
why not both?
Yeah, I mean, when you're talking about a shooter, right, your moment-to-moment gameplay has got to be good. So that's, you know, the action focus. But there's also a lot of strategy in the game. And, you know, just off the top of my head, I'm thinking about some characters who I think could be really good for strategic players like Symmetra. You know, she has to think a lot about where she's putting her turrets and where she's putting that teleporter for maximum effect, but, you know, not leaving it open. And so I really see her sort of as like a battlefield general.
Awesome. Yeah, it's really cool to see all this strategic depth already in the game. And it's also be able to see everybody here answer questions. Thank you to everyone who submitted them. They were here live at Gamescom. And also people who were live at Gamescom were people who are such big fans of Overwatch that they decided to cosplay Zoe.
Exactly.
And I believe you have an opportunity to sit down and talk with them. So let's see what they had.
From Overwatch, and it took me around 1 week to make a costume, but completely without any sleep. I made my prop actually in 2 days.
That prop was only in...
Yeah, 2 days.
Wow, wow.
There are my batteries and stuff. Gamescom is pretty amazing. It's special highlight for me. And since I'm a big fan of Blizzard, and it's just amazing. All the people are so amazing. It's just an amazing time here.
Some truly fantastic cosplay from that Symmetron. 2 days for that prop weapon.
I don't believe it.
How?
It's amazing. I don't believe it.
Oh, okay, we should call you a liar on stream. That's what just happened.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, but it looked absolutely fantastic. The Tracer as well, and it must be so cool for the fans to already like be able to pose with those favorite heroes. Did you also snap some pictures?
Yeah, we did.
Oh,
we got a couple.
Yes.
Not going to miss that opportunity.
It's just fantastic when you see the characters come to life right in front of you. It's, I mean, it's one thing to start as an idea and then make it into the game, but then when you see it right in front of you, because that Tracer cosplay was amazing. It's like she has the actual light up, and then whenever it's dark in the venue, you see like, oh, I know where Tracer is. She's on the other side of the venue protecting us from the robots. Really cool stuff. What was some of the favorites for you, Jeff, when you were seeing the cosplay?
I was blown away to see a Zenyatta. I thought that was amazing. We couldn't believe how hot it was 95 degrees yesterday, and he's wearing this full Zenyatta costume that looked fabulous. And the whole time you're like, that's pretty good, but can you hover? Like, just complete the look for us. You know?
Just levitate for like 5 seconds, man.
We're becoming very demanding of our cosplay.
You're not asking much. It's just about levitation. That's all right. Now, Michael, is there any character you would really like to see being cosplayed? Like a big Winston, or like, I don't know, what would you like to see?
Winston sounds great. I would love to see our new character, Lucio, get cosplayed. I think that would be awesome. Maybe with like practical skates and see someone skating around the floor. I think that would be great.
Bring rollerblading back into 2015. That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. We had a blast, but our time is up. But thank you so much for the information.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. We hope to see you again soon.
Oh, thank you guys.
Keep on being awesome. We're going to follow everything you do on Fall 10th. We're ready for it. So thanks a lot, Jeff.
Coming right up.
Coming right up. Perfect. So Jeff, Michael, and Matthew, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.